Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. Yes, we are here live with two amazing women powerhouses.
Building a Leadership Mindset.
Give me one second because, of course, I didn't mute
Live with two
mute my YouTube because I'm gonna check the comments there. We have two amazing, beautiful powerhouses bringing some topics here that are in the now, conversations that need to be had, things that are going to help and empower women. So you definitely want to stay tuned, continue to stay connected with Building a Leadership Mindset and what we are doing. Just a quick shout out to our sponsors, Jose Escobar with the Connected Leaders Academy, Julie and Noah with Breathe Capital Planning, and Patrick Rude with the Dirty Little Secret Society. So we are usually pre-recording, but we're live here, and we have two amazing women that have an event coming up this Thursday, August 1st at 7 p.m. And you definitely want to be there. But we're going to have them come on here today and just kind of share how this all came about and what are the conversations that need to have. And our topic is all about navigating your way back to success. So without further ado, let's get our guest here. We have Yara and Ortiz from South Carolina and Elena Rodriguez from Indiana. Hello, ladies. How are you today?
Hello. Doing great.
Welcome.
Excited.
Welcome. So happy to have you guys both here. You guys are amazing powerhouses in your space, in your craft, doing amazing things. And a couple topics that we are going to talk about are topics that you guys connected on and aligned with. And you said there's something more that needs to be done, right? These conversations need to happen. We need to get some of these things out of our way that's stopping us from getting to the next level. So we have to deal with them. So we're going to go a little bit. First, Yara, introduce yourself. Tell us what is it that you do, and then we'll go to Elena, and then we'll go into how the connection started.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, first of all, for having us. So yes, Yara and Ortiz, owner and CEO of BCS. And at BCS, we help nonprofit organizations with their financial management, bookkeeping, cash flow, grant tracking, all of that good stuff. And we also do financial planning for individuals as to how to budget and make the best of their income, among other few little other things.
Yes, a whole lot of other things.
Yes.
I see you. I've been seeing your journey for the last year, and this is a new space for you in what we're going to talk about, but it's so needed. And this is a perfect example. It doesn't matter what your career path is, you can still impact in so many different ways. So thank you so much. We'll get into that in a minute. Elena, love, how are you? Introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thanks for having us here with you this today. But I'm Elena Rodriguez. I'm out of Indiana, and I am the CEO and founder of Besitos Beauty and Show Your Crown. And what I do is really focus on stepping into your calling, be seen in your calling. So we have Divine Awakening, which is mastery for the called, chosen, and faithful on a mission. But then Besitos Beauty, you'll hear more about that probably later, because it was actually a small business created to build confidence in women after self-esteem and self-worth was just destroyed. And to me, I did that through lipstick, which is it's my fun business. So as I love working with people in small business, I'm just proof that you can really get unique and creative and do something different to make your business stand apart from the rest.
Absolutely. And I know that best. I'm actually upset because I ran out of my icon today. This is the one I wanted to wear, but also with our collaboration for the Lady Boss and the Boss Bomb, amazing in your craft. And I know that when I put every product of Besitos, whether it's my eyeshadow, my lipstick, I am more confident than ever. So love that. So tell me how you guys, I know you guys are both part of Ladies of Leadership. You're both part of the Connected Leaders Academy, which is one of our amazing sponsors we have. Tell me how your connection started.
Well, I like to think that there was a conversation that Yara and I had after we were talking about something with relationships. And we just connected and got to talking about relationships and realized that we have a lot in common.
Yes, it was crazy, right? Because actually Jose was the one who connected us that very first virtual coffee that we had, and it was just right away that we felt that connection, and like you feel that vibe when you connect with someone, and as we continue talking, as Elena said, we saw how similar our stories was, and that's how we got started together.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. And that's all it takes. It takes one conversation to see what magic can spark. And what I've been able to see with the both of you is that there was a great connection, a tight connection that it's so amazing how we can all have our different walks of life, our different businesses, but we can collaborate and be able to support and uplift each other and get these messages out. So tell us a little bit about what was the initial message, the initial conversation to say, hey, we are going to, we're going to reach out to the masses and really help this on recognize, what is it? Recognize, rebuild, and no,
Recognize,
recognize,
recover,
recover, and
and
rebuild.
rebuild. Yeah.
Yes.
So this happened. It wasn't even planned, like most of things, right? It's just a conversation. It was like, oh, we should do that, right? So, just a little bit of backstory for those who doesn't know, don't know my story, Elena's story. So, we both lost our partners in 2018. We both went through an abusive relationship with a narcissist. We both found out about affairs and a whole lot of other things after they had passed. And not only having to deal with the loss, but also with the aftermath of the betrayal, the pain, the shame, and all of that, contributing to us fighting that mental state that all of that brings, right? Low self-esteem, insecurity, fear, all of that stuff, and going through this experience was, a year later, almost 2 years that we've been connected, is, you know, working together is what prompted us to come up with this. It just happened in a conversation that we're meeting about something. I don't remember what it was. And I said something, and Elena's always light bulb is went on like she always does, like, oh, you know how she does, ooh. So I
Yes.
said, we need to share this. We need to share our experiences and help other women that are going through this or have gone through this.
Yes, yes, and
So,
I like to think, there's power when you come together and can share some of the things that otherwise would keep you hidden, right?
mhm,
And narcissistic, toxic, abusive, emotional abusive relationships are extremely difficult to navigate out of. And coming from a place that both Yada and I lost our partners in 2018, which to me was no accident that we had that in common as well. But I came from a place where not only did I lose that part of it, but I lost all my money. There was so much tied up in the loss of my husband that I lost everything. And so her being bookkeeping, working with finances, and open to talk about money, you bring my skill sets and you bring Yada's skill sets under a common umbrella of emotional abusive relationship, and you've got a powerhouse team. And that's why we're like, we need to do something to help others that are stuck in this space that is so hard to navigate through. And so we are bringing two sides of it, right?
mhm.
We're bringing her expertise and my expertise, and together we're talking money, we're talking confidence, we're talking rebuilding, and it's just what do you want to call it? A recipe for success that many don't get access to, and we know the importance of it.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. Again, it just takes one conversation, right? You never know what is going to be the aftermath, right?
Mhm.
Tell us what are some of the topics that you really want to hone in on as far as your experiences. What let's go back to what were some of the things that was caused by these relationships, right? What type of journey did you have to go through to get that success back? Like, was there a certain period of time where you just didn't believe, you lost hope? Like, what does that look like? Yara, you could go.
Yeah, so it took me at least till earlier this year to really, since 2018, right? Not counting the 15 years that I was in that relationship, right? Um, since 2018, it took me till earlier this year to be comfortable to talk about my story openly and publicly. I didn't want to talk about it. I would just go through it. I would withdraw. I would shut down because the shame, the anger, the insecurity, the fear, all of that together is what binds people from moving forward. And that's one of the things that we want to cover, right? How we can come out of, of these mental jail, as I call it, right? And move forward. Because more often than not, people don't realize the impact that being in an abusive relationship can have in your life, in your business, your mental health, you know, potentially developing that poverty mindset and in your finances, which is one of the main topics that we're going to be touching. Like right now, Elena said she lost everything, right? And me, like I have said before, I didn't lose everything, but because of my relationship with money, my understanding with money, my experience of so many years doing this, but that doesn't take away the fact that I could have more in my savings account to say like that if with it didn't I had to pay for almost everything for him. I juggle my cash flow on my budget like you have no idea. Do not be on the red, right? A lot
Mm,
of people miss that.
mm,
So the journey definitely was not easy. It took me years, like I said. It's uncomfortable. Sometimes you don't want to do things, but you need to push yourself because then you will stay on the hole. And that's what we're here for, to help and help people to recognize those symptoms, those red flags, and strategize how to can you come out from it. As we went through it already, we may know a little, the signs, and as to not to fall back. And let me tell you, this is a daily commitment and a daily decision that you commit and promise to yourself, because there are going to be always triggers and stuff that you're going to face on a daily basis that could take you back and back in the hole if you allow it.
mm.
So that's what I have
Yes.
to say right now.
Yeah. And so for me, one of mine is that, what I feel is really important to bring forward is, for me, I'm all about business, small business, that sweet spot. Where is it a hobby or is it a hustle? Am I grind? It's I love that space. And for me, being an entrepreneur for, gosh, well over 20 some years, I struggled with the fact of, how could I be so stupid?
Hmm.
How could I be so stupid to step into a situation that really destroyed me? It destroyed my just me as a person. I actually changed as a person, and my family saw it, my friends saw it. I didn't see it, right? So to me, I come from a place of no shame, no blame, but we got to talk about it. And I love to look at how a lot of betrayal trauma, that when you start digging into it, how it can actually block your success, not only in your finances and future relationships, but in your business. So for my small business owners that are working really hard and they feel like they're on that hamster wheel, just, not getting anywhere new, one of the questions I usually ask is, have you ever been cheated on? And that for them is like, wait, what? Because there's a lot of betrayal trauma that can keep you stuck. And so to me, I think it's important to open up the conversation, to share what we know, and to reinforce, no shame, no shame, no blame. Let's just pick up the pieces and learn and get competent over some of these things, because then ultimately that's how we start to build confidence. And I think coming together as women and creating that safe space to say, we are here to pour into you. We're here to share. Like, we've been there, done that. We made the mistakes. We stepped into it, but here's what we know now. And I think a lot of women need that information.
Wonderful. What a question to ask, right? And I know people are taken back by that, because I'm gonna be like, what does that have to do with what I'm doing today? And we don't realize that that is still in our subconscious somewhere, that we're probably don't think it's top of mind, but it really is. And when you're trying to run a business and be 100% there for your clients, to service at the highest level, we have to deal with that, right? How many times in your journey did you just say, today I'm not going to do it? I'm just not feeling it. Like, I'm just too in my feelings right now. Is that some of the journey that you see, not only with yourself, but with your clients as well?
Yes, absolutely. There are times that you wake up in the morning and you are in that dark place that you just don't even want to get out of bed, right? I still go through that right now and fighting with my emotions. There are days that I get up and I just feel like crying, straight up. No, why? What happened today? Then that's one of the exercises that I do. Like, what happened yesterday? What happened between this time and now me getting up that triggered that emotion? And it's one of the exercises that we should do, right? Like I said, is that daily commitment that you do to yourself, that exercise as to, okay, what trigger, what happened, where did I go, who I was with, what the person said, that triggered, and kind of backtrack yourself. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, why? Because it's deeper than you may even think or see, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a daily exercise, and it's a journey. It's every day being aware, right? That's why we want to do this, to help people to recognize and understand the symptoms and the signs and red flags, right? Those triggers, so that when it happens, then you are aware, and then you know how to channel that, change your perspective and channel that to then fixing it, try to fix it, and then, okay, focus, change your focus, shift your focus, so that you continue exercising, moving forward towards, rebuilding yourself.
I love it. I love it. I love when we can take a horrible experience that we went through and use it as a teaching lesson for those that, one, probably have been through it, but I'm all about being proactive.
Mm.
So I don't think that this is just for the one that has been the victim of it, right? Or has went through it, but also those that may know someone
Mhm.
that they see the signs, right? And knowing what the signs are, so that you can be prepared to be that friend for that person.
Yeah.
So I think that this is so valuable, and what you guys are doing and what you guys have put together. And I can't wait for this Thursday. And we'll get into how people can connect and be a part of that. Um, Elena, share some of the things that happen with you. Are there still moments that, we go through that?
Yeah, for me, it was the fact that my husband was already dead when I discovered the affair. I had to learn, because God told me real quick that I couldn't waste precious time asking questions that I would never receive answers to. And to me, that's a lesson that I carry with me like every day. However, like Jada said, there are times you're triggered. There are times that people that carry that type of energy can bring you right back down into that shell, and it takes effort to come back out, and it exudes so much energy to have to come forward, because it's so easy to retreat and hide. And I think that by identifying, like she said, what those things are. What did somebody say that brought me back here? What did somebody do that made me want to hide? And look at those, and be kind to yourself through it. And I think the only way that we can get to that space is by having things like we are having on Thursday, is by being with people that have been there that can help us. To me, I think it's like a toxic residue. It's like it never quite goes away, but if we can do things and create environments that say it's okay that you're here, but what are we going to do to get you out? Because nothing good can come from staying in that space. And who we are here. I mean, even Nikki, you've been a witness to me telling you at times I've been triggered and I have to just remove myself from the situation because it's not going to be good for me. And we have to be okay to say that. And by how you saying, sharing with our friends so that they know what to look for, it makes it easier because people can understand that in a moment you can just be taken right back there. But we have to work every day. We have to work every day to find the good. We have to work every day to continue to forgive. That's a huge part of it. And we have to find ways to fill, like I say, fill that tank ahead of time and create that environment of warriors around us ahead of time so that we're not depleted when it pops up because it will. And I think we lost her.
I think we lost her, but let's continue the show here for her. Yes, she goes. Yes, it's a matter of fill that tank, as you said, because there are moments that you don't know where it came from, right? And it's a matter of being uh how you say that, prepared, and um having those tools, right, in front of you to be able to use them. Because it's a matter also forgiving your own self.
Yeah.
There are um, things that are tattooed, right? Like, how to say that?
Soul
Tattooed
tattoos.
wounds?
I like to say we got soul tattoos.
Yes. That it will never pretty much go away, but it's a matter of how you manage that, right? Because there are things that you will never forget, right? There are things that you always stay there. It's just a matter of being prepared how to manage that, how to use that, and shift your focus.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I was bumped off. Do not disturb doesn't really work on your phone sometimes. So a call came in, but you guys are masters at this. I absolutely love it. I wanted to ask, because this is just so good. This is so, so good, because narcissistic tendencies or acts are not just in spousal relationships. It's also in friendships. It's in the workplace. Are you guys going to touch on that as well?
Yeah, I think from one thing that I know that I will want to share because it hit me maybe about a year ago, not that long ago, even in the space of personal growth and development, even in the space of leadership. Um, we come from a place of a lot of servant hearts, a lot of goodness needing to be shared, a lot of help that you want to give people, but you really have to identify those that will easily take advantage of that is one of those narcissistic traits. And what I have found is that my gut doesn't lie. When you've lived it, when you've survived it, when you're thriving after it, like when you have experienced it in your life, your gut, it's like a radar. It picks up on it so quickly. And I think it's really important to talk about, especially in the space that we are, because you can very easily get taken advantage of, and you can very easily be talked to a certain way that can shut you down. And we need to actually like discuss that too. I think it's important to realize that just because we all come from a certain space doesn't mean everybody's intentions are there, and we need to be okay to say I don't feel comfortable in this right now. And I think sometimes people are afraid to. And I know from me, that's a point that I definitely want to bring up, because you should never be in a situation that is ultimately going to trigger, I like to call it PTSD. You shouldn't, no matter what space that you're in, it's not okay. It's not.
It's so true. So true. What are your thoughts, Yara, on that?
No, yes. I definitely till recently found out that it's not only a romantic relationship. It could be like you guys share. It could be in the workplace. It could be a friendship. It could be even your parents. Your parents can be narcissists, and you can be raised by narcissists, and those things get attached because you were raised by it, right? And sometimes when we're in it, we don't see it. We don't recognize it. That's why, like you said earlier, it's not only for a person that have gone through it. It could be someone that for someone that knows someone that's going through it. Because when you're inside, you don't see it. You're so blind, so caught up, so how you say that immune to it that you don't even realize it. Because a lot of people will tell me things, and I was like, "What? Are you crazy?" No, wasn't until like years after that I realized, oh, that's what they meant, right? Um, but are we touching on those topics? Perhaps we're going to touch here a little bit here and there, but it's more like in general. So it could apply,
Right.
to a narcissistic person, narcissist, right? Whether it's parents, workplace, um, or romantic, because those traits, those um, behaviors are pretty much the same, to say it like that.
Yeah. So the last question before we give all the information and how people can connect, and I know your stories are just a little bit different as far as the timing, right? For Yara, when was it where you were like, I am done? What did it take to get out of the relationship? And then Elena, I'll ask your question a bit different.
Yes. So he passed in 2018, but in 2017, that's when I walked away from the relationship. Like we weren't together, but it's funny and it's not. We weren't together when he passed, together, but I felt so tied up with him that I felt like we were still together. He still had that control over me,
Hmm.
right? It wasn't until he actually passed. Imagine that I wasn't even there to look at other men thinking that I'm playing him.
Hmm.
That's how much it was. But it wasn't until after he passed that I was like, I am done. I am done because now I'm the only one here for my son. He lost a parent. Like I need to really do for me and my son. Like I cannot just continue down this road. I need to heal mentally, emotionally, even physically because I gained so much weight, you know. So a few months after he passed, that's when I was like, okay, I'm done. I started getting help, started going to church more because I had stopped, getting involved in getting myself out there, getting involved, my mind busy. I'm going to the gym, eating well, and seeking that help, really deep diving, and doing that deep work that is needed um, to be able to heal.
That is so powerful and I know plenty of individuals, not just women, but also men, keep even when the breakup happens, they still feel that sense of control that they can't do anything, that the fear is still there um to even take action on anything, not just getting, another, significant other, but, getting a job or even believing that they can have their own business and all these things. Very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Elena, I know that you knew that something was wrong before the passing, but and you didn't find out until after. So, at what point in your marriage did you feel like you were just not yourself anymore?
Um, you know, I saw it very, very early on.
Mhm.
Not the affair, like not his affair, but I felt the breakdown of me starting happening very early on. And sometimes people people wonder, like, how did you get with somebody like that? You know, how did you not see it? And honestly, I stepped into this relationship right after my dad had died of cancer. So talk about, feeling vulnerable, feeling weak, feeling lost. I saw red flags all over the place. And I knew inside, but I really didn't care. And I'm just going to be honest, I didn't have it in me. I just wanted somebody to swoop in and take care of me and make me feel better. But so almost immediately he was able to start breaking me down, because there were times where I'm like, you know what, this isn't good for me. I need to get out. And I was sucked in from the very beginning. So, for me, it just wasn't good all around. But there was a point where I just pleaded, like, I know I don't deserve anything that I don't work for, but I also knew I didn't deserve to be treated that way. And that was my battle, because by then we were married, and I hold marriage sacred, and I wasn't going to leave. And I think God knew I wasn't going to leave. And so my situation is different. He died. I didn't, I tried, I wanted to walk away many times, and many times I'm like, I'm done. I've had it. I'm out of here. But I never did. And I think God knew, like, you will destroy yourself, because I packed on about 50, 60 pounds. The year that it was really, really bad, I had 4 biopsies on 4 different parts of my body, because I was so sick. I had just taken so much toxicity in, and my body was becoming ill. So that all happened for me in like 2015. And he died on Christmas Eve 2018. So I stayed in it for a long time, and I think God knew I probably wouldn't have left, because I kept praying for him harder, and I kept praying for more forgiveness, and I kept praying for the things that would make it better. But people like that don't get better. That's who they are. And I think God just said, girl, I got work for you to do, and you're not going to do it like this. And so he was removed from my life. So
Wow. Thank you for sharing as well. The common theme I hear is that, and a lot of people that are on the outside always have a comment to judge and stuff like that, instead of bringing a solution to those that are going through it. And I hope you touch base on that as well, because that is super crucial, to not pass judgment on anyone, because you don't know what their situation. Safety is key, especially when there's children involved. There's a child with this parent. There's so many different elements that we have to go through, and we have to kind of shuffle through to finally make those decisions. And it's unfortunate that they were taken, and they weren't there to like really see the damage that they did. But I just want to thank you ladies for being resilient. Thank you ladies for being open and vulnerable. Thank you for ladies for bringing this topic to the forefront. And I know there's going to be a lot of meat and potatoes on Thursday. Let them know how they can connect with you ladies, and join us on August 1st. Yeah, and also Marilyn is online. Hey, and I know there's 4 other people they have in comments. So thank you for joining us and supporting these 2 beautiful ladies, just really ready to empower these women that feel like they're lost. And there is hope.
there
And
is
I know
hope.
you stand by that, love. Tell us what
Absolutely.
hope stands for.
Hope. Help one person every day. HOPE. That's what it means to me. So
I like that.
Yes, yes. So tell us, how can people get a hold of each of you individually and for this event as well?
Yes. So you can find me on Facebook as Yara and Ortiz, as it appears on the screen. You can go to my website, BCS's website, bookkeepingcs.com. You can also find me there. In regards to the event, we will put the link in the comments so that you can click on it and register. We really encourage you to register or share it to someone that you know may need it, because it's going to be very powerful, empowering, and life changing. And we're going to be covering a lot of things that are very needed, a lot of topics that are very, really needed, and that is going to really open your eyes. So,
Thank you so much for that. So there is going to be the signs to look for. There's going to be the characteristics, the traits, all of that good stuff. Elena, share, and I know you guys also have a gift for those that register as well. Tell us about that too.
Yes. If for anybody that registers, there's also a group, or not a group, but an event on Facebook, Recognize, Recover, Rebuild. If people go there, you can register right from there. But as you register, you'll get an ebook from that I wrote several years ago that is called Business Beyond Betrayal. And it actually shows you signs and symptoms of betrayal trauma and how they could be blocking your success. So that's just a thank you for joining. And then, of course, once you attend the event, there's other great things that we're giving away, and things that Yara has created that are going to be specifically for that moving forward. But I can be found on Facebook. Elena at showyourcrown.com is my email if anybody wants to email. But I'm usually all over Facebook, just on my personal profile, Elena Rodriguez. Feel free to message, ask questions. And I'm really about bringing this stuff to the light, bringing, never putting anybody on the spot, or never feeling like you're having to ask personal questions, but really just sharing the journey and what it took to pick up all of my broken pieces and rebuild my dream. And it's possible because in my experience, I did lose everything. Mine affected not only the loss of a husband, but loss of all my finances. It was all tied together. The betrayal I didn't even find out about until later. So I'm really all about just being open and honest, that however bad and hopeless it seems right now, we are proof. We are proof that you can rebuild, and that you can recover. And we want you to rise and thrive. So we hope that you will join us on Thursday.
yes.
Amazing. Yes. Don't, again, be proactive, get the information, even if you're not going through it. We walk through life and we may not notice it, but once we get the tools, we're going to start paying more attention to our family and our friends, and making sure that our circles are protected. So if you have experienced this, or you know someone, this touched me. I wasn't in a narcissistic or abusive relationship. At least I don't think so. But I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna check. Right. I'm gonna listen to what you guys say, and then we're gonna follow up. Definitely was working in a place that there was narcissistic behavior and tendencies. But I know people that have been through it, and I have seen some signs, and it's when they're making excuses, when they're hiding, when they're not visiting family anymore, when they're staying to themselves, when they say, hey, we want to have a girls' night, and they just can't because they're hiding a black and blue, or they're hiding something. Let's be vigilant. Get on this call. August 1st. It's this Thursday, 3 days away. You don't want to miss it. These ladies have I've been seeing some stuff on the back end, so I'm super excited about what they have, and I'm going to be a student as well. I want to thank you both for your time, for bringing this topic up. And I know this is not the end, that you will hear about what these two powerhouses are doing. I'm going to just leave you both with like 30 to 60 seconds. What empowering words do you want to leave our audience with?
So, like we have said before, it's not only for whoever has gone through it. It could be anyone that, that knows someone that's really going through it, that it could help, even for your own selves, right? That can help, that you understand and recognize these symptoms and these behaviors, that you can help other people, right? If you have any question, you can reach out to us. There's no such thing as a stupid question. If you have a question, it is a valid question, right? You are worthy. You deserve of a better life. So just get with us. You can take that first step towards rebuilding yourself and moving forward and getting out.
Yes. Yes. And I just want to share, those empowering words for that person that is thinking, all the good stuff's for them. And this is what's left for me. I'm just here to help you remember who you are. Remember who you are and remember whose you are. And y'all know the rest of it. Boldly step forward, show your crown. There's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. And you might not see a way out now. You might not understand how you're ever going to smile again. You may never understand how, you'll laugh or love again someday. But the place that it begins is to tap into who you are and honor that person for everything, all of it, and then change what you want to change forward. But in order to do that, you have to be open to learning, growing, meeting people, and trying something new. And this could just be the thing.
Absolutely. Step out of that comfort zone, out of that box that God did not place you in, because he made us to see it all, to live it all, and to share it all. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you all for tuning into another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. We love you. Have a great day. And as we always say, make it count. Bye.